Hello, everyone. This is criminal profiler Pat Brown, and I was just getting into bed with this lovely snuggly pajamas that Lila sent me, one of my wonderful patrons. And then Lila sent me an email, and she said, "Pat, you've missed the big announcement today. Your one chance to tell everyone to watch 60 Minutes in Australia. Australia's brand new video on the brand new evidence on the JonBenet Ramsey case is debuting this weekend. I'm sure they've solved it this time." And I'm like, oh, I have to check it out. Even though I was just about to watch Death in Paradise, which I love, and it's Sunday night. But okay, I better keep up with the news. So I went and put on my VPN and slipped over to Australia and found out, yes, here it is. 60 Minutes is having this new show. And the title is New Evidence, right? New evidence, of course. That could what? That could lead to JonBenet Ramsey's killer. All right, of course, this is not an Australian case. This is a U.S. case. This occurred in Colorado. But hey, it's one of those cases like Madeleine McCann that has gone around the globe because it's unsolved, and the parents have always been suspect in the case. But then there is the parents, like the Madeleine McCann case, being in the media. Well, Patsy Ramsey no longer because she has passed away, but John Ramsey, the father of JonBenet, has been out there. He's now 80 years old, and he's fighting it. And he's everywhere saying, hey, we got to catch the killer of JonBenet before he passes on and joins his wife. And so he has been out saying that the family has been wrongly accused for many, many years, in spite of the fact of a whole lot of evidence that points toward them and away from any kind of intruder theory. But hey, I can be wrong. I'm a criminal profiler, but a criminal profiler is not always correct. We can come up with theories, and one day we can find our theories are not accurate. So I went right away to this. I can't see the show yet, but I went right away to the new evidence that would lead to JonBenet Ramsey's killer. And I'm going through the article. Apart from the inhabitants, not much has changed in the 27 years since 6-year-old beauty queen JonBenet Ramsey was strangled to death in the basement. Of course, that is not actually entirely true, that last statement, strangled to death in the basement. We're not exactly sure how it went down and where, but okay. Remarkably, after all this time, one of the most infamous murders in the world remains unsolved. That is true. But there's fresh hope. This mystery might finally be cracked, which is why we're here. Well, thank you, 60 Minutes Australia, because I just love how the media cares about the truth. And you are here with fresh hope that the case is going to be cracked. Oh my God, what could it be? Okay, I'm excited, right? After nearly 3 decades, a team of cold case investigators has been tasked with scrutinizing all the evidence Boulder police ignored in their determination to pin the murder on JonBenet's parents. Okay, so they have a team now of cold case investigators. There have been, how many cases have teams of cold case investigators? I don't know what that means. Like somebody and somebody else gets together and says, we're going to take a look at the case. I mean, I could get together with anybody and say, we're a cold case team. Pat Brown and somebody else is looking at a case. We're cold case investigators. We're going to crack the case. And so goes on here, blah, 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 blah. I'm looking for the new evidence, Mark. We're talking about the ransom note. And John is saying how he pulled the tape off of JonBenet's mouth. Local police declare JonBenet's parents prime suspects, blatantly disregarding all evidence to the contrary. Is this a news program, or is this a John Ramsey agenda? Look, news programs are supposed to be unbiased, but this looks like extraordinarily biased. Let's see. The police blatantly disregarded all evidence to the contrary, and there was plenty of it. Former detective, I guess this is the guy that's going to be in the show. That's this guy here, who's now down in the basement pointing at the window that he says the killer of JonBenet crawled out of. All right, tiny little window. Anyway, let's see. Former detective John San Augustine shows our crew Ooh, he's showing the crew around. Okay, the rear laneway and the basement window with a suitcase dragged underneath, and fibers from her clothes are found inside the suitcase. And he claims that maybe the killer put JonBenet's body inside the suitcase, I guess trying to drag her through the window. Okay, clear evidence. Clear evidence. San Augustine says that there was an intruder involved. All right, right here, I don't like you anymore, San Augustine, because that is not clear evidence. If you're a true investigator, you say it's interesting. You never say it's clear evidence, because it isn't. And so I already think you're a phony. All right. You don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to know that this is what we call a clue. Okay, it's a piece of information. This could be a clue. It may not be a clue. You've just decided it is, and that clue is going to prove that she clearly was taken by somebody. And he's clearly exasperated. Oh, that's a shame. You've got an open window. You've got a scuff mark on the wall. You have a suitcase with some broken glass on it. Because the claim here is that the killer has decided he's going to put the suitcase down, break the window open, I guess, climb up on the suitcase and try to crawl through. Do you know how many doors are in the Ramsey house? If the quote abductor, the child predator abductor, wanted to take JonBenet, all he has to do is walk out a door. The alarm system was off. He got in somehow, so he obviously can get out somehow, right? But let's ignore that. Let's ignore the fact he can walk out a door. Let's have him go down a basement, try to crawl out a window, pulling a little girl through the window in a suitcase. Yeah, okay, sure. See, this is the kind of stuff that's such nonsensical. All right, blah, blah, blah. There's 2,500 leads, blah, blah, blah. Then there was some DNA, which was fairly meaningless because it was touch DNA and da, 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 da. I'm looking for the new evidence. Okay, still looking for the new evidence. Sorry, I'm having trouble here. Use of a stun gun explains someone was trying to incapacitate. There's no proof that a stun gun was ever used. All right. His voice is filled with despair and regret. Is that the investigator or is that Jon Ramsey? Okay, that's Jon Ramsey. I guess the investigator still has hope. All right. But there also is finally some hope. The Colorado Cold Case team has put fresh eyes on decades-old evidence and will soon announce its findings and recommendations. That's not new evidence. That's another bunch of theories based on evidence that already exists or information that already exists. It's not new evidence. Okay. Garbage. Absolute garbage. 60 Minutes Australia should be ashamed of yourself. You're just doing an agenda-driven JonBenet Ramsey daddy approved video with his select team who wants to say he is innocent and his wife is innocent and his son is innocent and family had nothing to do with what happened to JonBenet Ramsey. In spite of the fact there has never been proof that an intruder ever was in the house, the ransom note is a ludicrous thing for any intruder to write and had too much inside information only the family would know. And the family's behaviors were highly concerning. Those are the three basic things that can tell you right here that perhaps the police were looking in the right direction when they were looking at the Ramseys. Now, I'm not going to say the Ramseys are guilty. I'm simply going to say I have no proof that there was an intruder. Never has been proof. I will link below the one video I did along about three years ago now. I should do a new one, but I'll link that one below. And I would say don't waste your time watching 60 Minutes Australia's brilliant new show, going to tell you all about the new evidence that doesn't exist. It's a lie, and they should be ashamed of themselves. I can tell you that before I'm not. What's even worth watching the show? But hey, if all of you want to waste your time on that hour of this whatever you want to call it, please do email me, profilerpatbrown@gmail.com, and tell me what new evidence they found, just so I don't have to waste my time actually watching the show. All right, that's it. I'm going to go to bed in my nice new snugglies. If you're new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. It helps this educational channel keep going. I do profiling analysis and crime scene analysis, and I try to stick to evidence and facts, and I lean away from just finding new evidence for the sake of doing a new show. Thank you very much. I'll see you. Well, see what happens. If new evidence does come up, I'll be happy to talk about it. Bye.